you talk to me, and talking
Yeah.
to me you will be kind of talking to. So you don't
So I look
kind
at
of
you
really
or I look at the camera?
yeah, look at me. Yeah.
Okay.
That's that's the way to do it.
Okay.
So could you describe collection? Like,
Okay, as I say, my name is Lenny Lee. I've been collecting art since I was 17 years old, and I really started by collecting small drawings that friends gave me, and I kept them in the shoebox, as I mentioned to you earlier. And
when you talk, you don't mention to anything you said earlier,
right.
because then it's
Okay.
impossible
I'll
to
start
intercut,
again.
you know,
I'll
because
start again.
nobody knows what
I'll
you...
start again. Let's start again. Okay. I first started collecting art when I was 17. A friend gave me a drawing, another friend gave me a print, and before I knew where I was, I had a shoebox full of small items that people had given me. I'd always liked paintings. My father's house is covered in paintings, and so at the age of about 24, 25, I was introduced to squats, and I started working in empty buildings with other artists, and often their work would be destroyed, and I tried to preserve little relics from each squat I worked in, little flyers that were hand painted and, you know, printed on a typewriter, or you know, little collages that they'd made, you know, inside a cigarette packet. I collected all kinds of stuff that most people would have thrown away in the bin. But for me it was a record of a time, and it was these were relics of something very beautiful and important that I was a part of at that time. So I valued these small items. And as time went on, I discovered that most of these buildings that we squatted were destroyed, and very little survived, and I ended up with the only surviving relics. So since the early 80s, I've been collecting relics from this time and trying to preserve these objects, because I felt it was a shame to see them all being destroyed. But it was only in 2009, when I was told that I would need to have a heart operation, that I began to take this collection seriously. By that time, it was no longer in a shoebox. It was in a big trunk under my bed, and I'd managed to collect more than 2,000 drawings and photographs and small paintings. And I decided to photograph them and catalogue them. And together with my friend Ada Gutierrez and Francesca Jordan, we managed to catalogue and photograph quite a few pieces. They're now about 3,000 or 4,000 catalogued. Since 2010, when I had my last heart operation, I've managed to collect more than 500 or 600 pieces. And it's growing at a vast rate, and it's now becoming a problem because I have a whole room full of art which I've managed to collect. And I'm really looking for places which might be willing to exhibit or store them, and I'm trying to get these works online so that we can have a kind of DIY museum of underground culture. And I'm hoping that there will be other artists all over Europe who will get a similar idea and start to make their own DIY museums, so that we can preserve the history of underground culture the way the mainstream preserves its own culture. So I don't know what more to say other than that many of these pieces are very beautiful. Some of them are of no great significance to other people, but they all represent a memory to me. They're like a visual diary of my life, and I'm hoping that other people will take on the collection and make it grow, and that eventually artists will manage to build their own museum rather than being at the hands, of wealthy collectors and curators who don't love art the way artists love it. That's it.
Okay.
Any of that interesting? Not really.